Deuteronomy chapter 13:1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and give thee a sign or a wonder, and that sign or that wonder come to pass, whereof he spoke unto thee, saying, let us go after other gods which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams, for the Lord your Yahweh proveth you, to know rather ye love the Lord your Yahweh with all your heart and with all your soul. So he's proving you to see if you're walking in all of his ways. So we have to understand these scriptures. We have to walk in these scriptures because the Most High is proving us daily. Okay. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh and his son, Yahushua, King, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ. It's the brother Uriel ben Judah. And today I want to talk on the ignorance of the known sin, the unknown sin, Salah. And a brother came to me the other day and was speaking to me about he cannot be accountable for sin that he don't know that he's doing. And what I realized, a lot of our people get caught up in that particular phrase and not knowing the sin, so they say that they're not accountable for it. So what we're going to do today, in the power of Yahweh and his Spirit, we're going to go into some scriptures that's going to not only prove that sin unknowing is in fact sin and you are held accountable for it as well. First I want to start in the book of Hosea chapter 4 and at verse 6, and it reads, for my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will reject thee, and thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of Yahuwah, and I will forget your children. And what we're going to do, we're going to go into the scriptures precept upon precept and get a proper understanding of not only what sin is, but we're going to get the understanding of we're still accountable for the sin that we do unknowingly. So from there, I want to go to the book of Romans. And I'm going to try my best to stay in the New Testament for my Christian viewers. So we're going to go to the book of Romans chapter 3. And what I realized, a lot of people say, okay, now that you came into the truth and now that you found your way, why is it that you Hebrew Israelites are always, quote unquote, judging? But what we have to understand is not a judgment. It's knowing the perspective of where we came from. Most of us has came from the Christian church. So we know the lies and the deception that the Christian church has put upon our people. And what we're merely trying to do is wake our people up out of sleep. With the passion, according to Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1, the scriptures order us to cry loud and spare not. We're not sparing your feelings. We don't care how people feel, because 500 plus years of oppression in this Hellenistic nation called America is the reason why we have to come rough sometimes and we have to wake people up out of their sleep. So the book of Romans chapter 3 verse 23. And it reads, "For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God." We're not stating that we have not sinned. But just like a father or just like a mother, they go through life for the lesson and go through things so that they can pass it on to their children on what not to do in life. And it's just that simple. And that's what the Yahweh and Yahushua is trying to do in today's time through his prophets and the woke elect of the children of Israel that's awoke, that's out there in the street corners risking their life for the word of the Most High God, for the love of our people to wake us up out of ignorance. From there, we want to go to the book of 1 John. The book of 1 John chapter 1. And we're going to read verse 8. And it reads, "If we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us." We have to understand we're not stating that we have not sinned. But we came to the acknowledgement of who we are, understanding that, knowing that you're the children of Israel, that we're supposed to come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. And through that, conditioning from the Christian perspective and the Christian mindset and what we feel is right, and actually reading the scriptures and doing what thus saith the Lord, it hurts sometimes. And we have to lay down some things that we deem to be correct, or our pastors, our Christian church has deemed to be right. But we have to follow this word precept upon precept and do what thus saith the Lord. So we're going to stay in the book of 1 John, and I'm going to go to 1 John chapter 3. And at verse 4, in order for us to change certain things, we have to identify what is sin according to the scriptures. Sin is not, oh, if you don't go to church today, you're in the midst of sin. Or if you don't do what your pastor says, you're in the midst of sin. So we're going to get what thus saith the Most High when it comes down to what sin is. So the book of 1 John chapter 3 and at verse 4, it reads, "Whosoever committeth sin transgress also the law. For sin," I'm going to read that again, "for sin is the transgression of the law." There's no other place, there's no other scripture that you can get that gives you a clearer, distinct definition of what sin is. No matter what pastor say, or no matter what brother such and such or sister such and such says, this is the sin, which is the transgression of the law. Walk with me for a little bit because I'm going somewhere. Now we're going to go to the St. John, the book of St. John, chapter 9. The book of St. John, chapter 9. And we're going to begin reading at the verse 31. It says, St. John, chapter 9, verse 31. "Now we know that Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God, heareth not sinners. But if any man be a worshiper of God, does his will, him he hears." So we have to be a worshiper of God. The Most High God is not hearing sinners. But again, we say, okay, well, why is it that prophet such and such that is not keeping no laws, that's eating all types of abominable meats, and that's stuck in the Christian church doing the things that is not necessarily written in the Bible, but give me a couple scriptures. Why is it the things that he says come to pass? Is that not a prophet? Yes, but we have to identify what is a real prophet of the Most High and who's the prophet of the wicked one. And we're going to get to that in a minute. But I want to continue in the scriptures. I'm going to read that one again. This is the book of 1 John chapter 9 verse 31. It says, "Now we know that God hears not sinners, but if a man be a worshiper of God and does his will, he hears." So not only can we be knowing the laws or knowing what thus saith the Lord, but we have to be doers of his will in order for us and our prayers to go through the ear gates of the Most High. Okay, from there I'm going to go to the book of Proverbs. And what I'm doing right now, I'm setting the foundation of sins that is done in ignorance. Is there a punishment for that? Or is there a punishment for sins that's done in ignorance? Or are we accountable for sins that are done in ignorance? That's the basis of this particular lesson. Okay, the book of Proverbs. Chapter 28. And at verse 9, it says, "He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayers shall be an abomination." That's some heavy meat right there, to understand that the Most High didn't say if you do good, he's going to hear your prayers. So being a good person or being a good Samaritan is not only a duty of being the chosen or being Israel, but also we have to be doers and hearers of the law. I'm going to read that again. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 28 and at verse 9. It says, "He that turneth his ears away from hearing the law, even his prayers shall be an abomination." So don't think that we're going to get nothing from the Most High Yah if we don't want to hear no laws. I know that the Christians, that may hurt some Christians because they feel as though that they've been blessed because of materialistic things or things that was shown to them via the Christian church. But that's not so according to the scriptures. Materialistic things have nothing to do with the blessings of the Most High God. So I'm gonna prove that through the scriptures. I want to go to the book of Deuteronomy. The book of Deuteronomy, I want to go to chapter 13. And I'm going to start reading verse 1. It says, "Therefore," Salah, Deuteronomy 13 and 1. "If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, and that sign or that wonder come to pass, wherefore he spake unto thee, saying, Let us go after other gods." Here we go, other gods. What we're talking about, going after the doctrines and the teaching of Christianity, or going against Islam, or you don't have to keep the laws because Christ came and done away with the laws. That's other doctrines and that's other gods according to the scriptures. I'm going to start that again. It's Deuteronomy chapter 13 and 1. "If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and give thee a sign or a wonder, and that sign or that wonder come to pass, whereof he spoke unto thee, saying, Let us go after other gods which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams, for the Lord your Yahweh proveth you, to know rather ye love the Lord your Yahweh with all your heart and with all your soul. So he's proving you to see if you're walking in all of his ways. So we have to understand these scriptures. We have to walk in these scriptures because the Most High is proving us daily. Okay, this is verse 4. Ye shall walk after the Lord your Yahweh and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him and cleave unto him. So the first thing that's supposed to happen when somebody gives you a word and say it's from the Most High God, we're supposed to go to the scriptures and prove that quote unquote prophet in the scriptures. And if the scriptures does not say that, then we're not supposed to follow him or it. And what we got in this mental slavery that we've been brainwashed for so long, we got the image of a pastor is in a 3-piece suit, or he go into the church building every Sunday. If he is not as that, then what we're going to do is we're going to reject that man because he does not look like our ideal pastor. No matter how much wisdom or no matter how much knowledge the Spirit of the Most High has endowed him with. So from there, I'm going to go to the book of Psalms. The book of Psalms, chapter 73. And I'm going to start reading at verse 3. It says, for I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. And this is what we have to understand, that a lot of our people get confounded with wicked man's prosperity. Oh, he have a nice car. Oh, he have a nice house. He goes to church, so he must be blessed of the Most High, when that is not necessarily true. As a matter of fact, 9 times out of 10 is not true. Okay, verse 4. And it reads, for there are no bonds in their deaths, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore, pride compasses them about as a chain. Violence covered them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. They have the abundance, overflow. Most of the time, first and foremost, how we know that they are not wicked? Because they have materialistic things. They have a lot of money. We go to the white man for loans. We go to the white man for business ventures. And he's the devil according to the scriptures. So the devil have abundance. Verse 8, they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak lofty. Y'all still on that slavery stuff? Get over it. This is what these wicked people say. And it's sad to say most of these wicked people are coming from our own people. Verse 9, they set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongues walketh through the earth. Therefore his people return hither, and the waters of a full cup are wrung out of them. And they say, how does Yahweh know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. The ungodly is going to increase in riches. So if you are a man that is looking at materialistic, man or woman, that's looking at materialistic things as being blessed of the Most High God, you have the blessings of the Most High God sadly mistaken. All right? So we want to go back to the book of Romans. And like I said, sorry for the Christian folks if I go to the old covenant. I don't like to say a covenant or an old covenant or a new covenant. It's the Bible. And the entirety of the Bible is the thing that we teach. The entirety of the Bible is the things that we believe. So the book of Romans chapter 2. And we're going to start reading at verse 13. It says, "For not the hearers of the law are just before Yahweh, but the doers of the law shall be justified." So you cannot just be a hearer of the law. You have to be a doer of the law. Just like love is an action word. We've been accustomed and we've been too comfortable with just hearing or just understanding certain things and not putting it into action. From there, I'm going to go to the book of Numbers. The book of Numbers, chapter 15. And we're going to read at verse 30. It says, "But the soul that does aught presumptuously, whether he be born in the land or be a stranger, the same reproaches the Lord, and that soul shall be cut off from among his people." We are too afraid to cut people off from our lives. These wicked family members, we continue to do exactly what the Most High tell us not to do, according to the scriptures. We have to cut these wicked people that do not want to follow the Most High laws, even if they know. We have to cut them off. All right? The book of Leviticus. Go to the book of Leviticus, and we're going to read chapter 4, and we're going to start at verse 1. It says, "And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a soul shall sin," this is the ignorance that we come to. Are we responsible for sin that is done in ignorance? If we don't know no better, is the Most High going to hold us accountable for it? Let's get the scriptures and see what was done in the Torah according to sin that was done in ignorance. So this is the book of Leviticus chapter 4 verse 1. It says, "The Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a soul shall sin through ignorance against any of the commandments of Yahuwah concerning the things which ought not to be done, and shall do against any of them." Verse 3, "If a priest that is anointed do sin according to the sin of the people, let him bring a sin offering which he has sinned, and a young bullock without blemish unto the Lord for his sin offering." So yes, you would have to atone for sin that you had no intelligence about, or you did not know that you were sinning. How do we get the knowledge of the sin that we do not know? We have to spend time in worship. We have to spend time communing with the Most High God in order to get that understanding. So just because we sin in ignorance does not give us a pass. We have the scriptures. Read the scriptures so we can prepare ourselves for the things that we know and things that we do in out of ignorance. Okay, from there we're going to go to the book of Hebrews. The book of Hebrews, chapter 13. And we're going to read verse 8 and 9. It says, Yahushua Mashiach, the same yesterday and today and forever. Be not carried about with diverse and strange doctrines, for it is a good thing that the heart be established with grace, not with meats, with which have not profited them that have been occupied therein. So he's the same yesterday, today, and forever. He changed not. The laws are not done away with. What is Yahushua pretty much preaching in the new covenant? He's preaching the Torah. So from there, I'm going to go to the book of John. The book of John, chapter 5, and at verse 46. For had ye believed, this is what they say. They say Christ came and done away with the laws. We don't listen to Moses no more. We don't do what Moses said. That covenant is done away with. Pastor taught me that. So we're going to hear out of Yahushua's mouth himself. From the Pharisees and the people that did not believe in him, we're going to hear out of his mouth what we're supposed to do. Okay? This is the book of John, chapter 5. We're starting at verse 46. Let's start at verse 45. Do not think that I will accuse you to the Father. There is one that accuses you, even Moses, in whom ye trust. For had ye believed Moses, ye would have believed me, for he wrote of me. Listen to this verse. Verse 47 is a very compelling verse when it comes down to this, the laws done away doctrine that Christianity has taught us. Verse 47, but if ye believe not his writing, whose writing he's talking about? Moshe's. For if you believe not his writing, how shall you believe in my words? It's impossible for us to understand what Christ's talking about if we just do away with the Torah. And that's factual evidence for us. I hope I answered the question to the brother that asked me that question according to the scriptures. Yes, we are accountable for sin that we do unknowingly. You mean to tell me we got to keep all 613 laws? It's impossible for us to keep them laws. We're in captivity, a lot of brothers say. If you read the book of 2 Maccabees chapter 6, and the captivity that our brothers and sisters were in, a lot of the difference is between that time and this time, our people were actually being put to death for keeping the commandments of the Most High God. We have the luxuries of believing and following what we want to follow, and we still are willingly ignorant to the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High God. They were put to death for keeping the feast days. And you mean to tell me that I'm going to go to work on the Shabbat knowing that that the Most High tell us not to work? Or I'm going to do what I want to do because we're in this quote-unquote captivity. We can't follow the Torah. It's high time that we wake up out of sleep. It's high time that we stop playing games with the Most High God. Come back to these law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. Try diligently to seek him and follow all of his ways, and come out of sleep, come out of ignorance that we willingly are doing. It's not something that we're forced to do in Babylon in 2018. We're ignorant because we are willingly ignorant. And with that, We say shalom.